With the Granolah arc now being finished and the shocking events of Black Frieza beating everyone and establishing his place as the strongest mortal in the universe, it leaves us with the question of what is next. With some using the name Domination F to parallel the Resurrection F arc, many in the community have come up with the idea that the next arc will involve Frieza taking over the universe. Well, we are going to break this down and go over what will most likely happen in the next Dragon Ball Super arc. But before we get into it, make sure you leave a like and subscribe for weekly Dragon Ball and One Piece content. The first thing I want to see in the next arc is Frieza's point of view. What is he scheming? It's based on what happened in the last chapter. He is completely in control of everything that is going on right now in the universe. He is not worried about Goku and Vegeta whatsoever. Like I established in my latest Dragon Ball manga review, he lets them live. That is completely unlike Frieza. If Frieza was completely worried about them and considered them a threat, bang, he would have killed them right there. But he has something in store for them and the universe. And we need to start asking, how strong is he? And what is he planning? What I hope to see in the next chapter is I hope we get to see, or in the chapters to come, I hope we get to see his perspective and him doing things and starting to lay down the foundations for what he is going to do. Because we need to see this. We need to see him training. We need to see him getting ready for whatever he's planning. Because he is planning something, that is a fact. But the question is, what and when? And is he going to wait for the Saiyans to get stronger, or is he going to implement it relatively soonish after the last chapter? And this ties into what I want to talk about next, which is the Saiyans training, knowing that they aren't the strongest, to try catch up to Frieza's level. Now, one thing that has been clearly established is that Frieza is the strongest mortal in the universe. He is completely and utterly stronger than Goku and Vegeta. Now, what are Goku and Vegeta going to do? Well, what have they done in every other arc in the show? Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. They're gonna go train. Absolutely. They're gonna try hone their powers even more and try to close that gap between them. The problem is, it didn't look like Frieza was struggling at all. He was taking it easy on them, so we haven't seen the full extent of his power, which makes me think that Goku and Vegeta might go train in the Room of Spirit and Time. Frieza trained in a room of spirited time for 10 years. Are they going to go and train? Maybe not for 10 years, but until they think or have a feel that they can combat Frieza. In my opinion, it's going to go one of two ways. They're going to have a short training arc where they train on Beerus' planet for a little bit longer, and then go... something might happen with Frieza and they're going to go try to stop it from happening. Or they're going to train in the Room of Spirit and Time for maybe around the same time as Frieza, maybe less, maybe more, and get stronger, and something is going to happen with Frieza. His plan is going to be executed, and whether Goku or Vegeta are strong enough or not, this plan will be executed and they will either be able to combat him or they are going to lose. And this is going to upset a lot of fans, a lot of Goku and Vegeta fans. Because basically the whole Granolah arc, they were getting their asses kicked. They were not winning. They could not beat Gas or Granolah by themselves. And people are upset that, you know, the MCs are not taking the stage, or one of the characters is taking the center stage and beating the villain, old school Dragon Ball Z style. You know, Energy Blast, he's gone, done. I feel like the manga needs to start directing their focus back to that because it has been so long since one of the MCs have been able to beat a villain by themselves. Obviously, it's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be, you know, a walk in the park. It never has been. But we need to see one of the MCs step up and beat the villain. And honestly, I am a big Vegeta fan personally. I want to see Vegeta hone his power and be the one to beat Frieza, which will bring his story kind of full circle, you know. The Saiyan Prince, one of the last of the Saiyans, survives his planet being destroyed by Frieza. A couple years later, or not a couple, like 20 years later, ends up going to Namek. Frieza kills him, yada yada yada. He needs to be the one to put Frieza in the grave. If they do beat Frieza, which I feel like they will. Frieza can't be a villain forever unless they absolutely milk the hell out of him. Now, besides Saiyan's training, Frieza executing his plan, what we need to see is Beerus' perspective on what is going on right now. Because as Beerus being the god of destruction, it is his job to make sure the universe is balanced. And with Frieza attaining his new form, it has completely shifted the power scaling. So if you imagine a scale, one side is down, one side is up. That one side is Frieza, instead of it being evenly matched or even. Is Beerus going to sit idly by while Frieza takes over the universe? What'll be really cool to see is Beerus actually taking action, because, you know, since the start of Super, we've seen Beerus as a character. He's only been a threat towards the start of Super, like, oh my god, he's going to destroy the Earth. But since then, he's kind of been comic relief or plot armor for Z fighters. You know, something goes wrong, oh, here's Beerus and Whis, oh, villain runs away. But if Frieza is trying to take over the universe, I have no doubt in my mind that Beerus is going to intervene. He is going to do something. Because if he doesn't, then he isn't living up to his role as the god of destruction. And which leads into what I personally want to see from the Domination F arc, which is what I'm going to call it and what many people in the community are calling it. I want to see a war in Dragon Ball. It is going to be something absolutely mind-boggling has to happen. Someone has to die. And quite honestly, with Frieza being at the level that he is, it makes me question if he is stronger than Beerus yet. He trained for 10 years in that room of Spirit of Time. And with Goku in his Ultra Instinct form, people have been theorizing, or True Ultra Instinct and Vegeta with Ultra Ego, that the gap between the Saiyans and Beerus is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and eventually they're going to catch up. But with Frieza being as strong as he is, we need to ask the question, is Frieza stronger than Beerus? And if Beerus tries to intervene, and a fight breaks out between Frieza and Beerus, is Beerus going to be able to stop Frieza? And what would happen if Frieza killed Beerus and took his place as the god of destruction? This would bring a much darker tone to the story, and it would also help later on in the story start to piece together the little hints that we got from Whis at the end of 87 about the other strongest warrior in the universe emerging. Goku and Vegeta couldn't do anything, they got beaten, and Beerus was killed, and Frieza has become the new god of destruction. I know this is a long shot, by all means, but we need to start asking these questions right now. Is Frieza stronger than Beerus? How strong is Frieza? How strong is Beerus? How strong are the Saiyans? Because if Jiren was stronger than his god of destruction, Balmoof, or Balmod, depending on if you watch the anime or the manga, how strong is Beerus? Because surely at this point in the story, Goku and Vegeta are closing the gap. they're getting close to his level of strength. And if Frieza is stronger than them, does that put Frieza at the same level as Beerus or above? And that is something that we are going to see. But this other strongest warrior, if Frieza ends up becoming the god of destruction and the Saiyans can't do anything about it, they're gonna need help to beat him. This other strongest warrior, or there'll be an arc, or it'll be part of the Domination F arc, them finding the warrior and teaming up with him, maybe even training to get stronger and be able to take down Frieza once and for all. With all that being said, the next arc is going to be high stakes. That is a fact. There's no way that based on how chapter 87 ended, it won't be. But let me know what you think will happen to the next arc down in the comments below, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. This is Anime Roundtable, signing off.